Hey all, it's Eileen back again. Here we are, and it is summer, and this week it is Scorchio. So I think we've had it's that funny we're starting to get the heat waves now, and but we've also had quite a lot of rain. So fortunately, I think most of the water books have been filled. But anyway, we've yet to see. And all of a sudden, all the beds are full, and I'm waiting for gaps. How did that happen? I don't know. It only seems like 5 minutes ago since everything was very gappy and waiting for me to get busy planting stuff, and it's all gone bonkers. And it's that lovely time of year where some of the flowers, like my, what is it called? Oh dear. It's a tansy over there, and not marjoram. Oh God, I can't remember. We'll come back to it. What the hell's it called? It's blooming essential oil. Anyway, so they're all just opening up, and they're some of my favourite flowers. So it's, and some of my sunflowers are now this high. I don't know how that happened. And they're just waiting to open up as well. And the hydrangeas are in bloom, and the garden's just gone bonkers. I managed to get my insect net up. It's only over 2/3 of one bed, but everything in it has actually, there's no butterfly. I haven't trapped any butterflies in it this year, so that's a win, because last year I left it too late and my net got full of butterflies, so you know they were busy troughing laying eggs, and everything was full of caterpillars. So lesson learned from last year. Also lesson learned from last year. Keeping a plan. So I'm going to have a whip round today and just update my plan with what's where, because I'm just waiting for, I've got a few gaps and a few spare plants to plant, which I'll do when it's a bit cooler tonight. And I'm all for these gardeners that just slap it in. You know, if you've got you've kind of got a rough sort of, well no, you've got a, you know, you've got a plan, but at the same time you're taking the opportunity to just stick plants in wherever there's a gap. And I've had a lot of fun watching other people on YouTube sharing their wisdom, and I'm just trying to I'm trying to not get too girly swap with it, but I can see myself going down that path anyway. But I do like this whole idea about, you know, having scatterbeds where you have a bed where you just stick stuff in. I saw a clip from a YouTube channel, I think it's in the States somewhere, it's growing monster veg. Like that, it's cabbages like that. And he talks a lot about soil quality and, you know, the right way to do watering, and there's so much to it, isn't there, when you do take the time to actually do a little bit of cramming. But I've been having a lot of fun, and that is the main thing. And I finally got down to one layer of clothing. Normally I'm walking around with about 3 layers on, because I'm that nesh, which in Derbyshire means not very resilient to cold. A little bit is sort of health related, but we won't go there. So yeah, the idea today is I'm going to update my garden plan. In the end, I did this in Microsoft Publisher because it's fairly easy to move, boxes around and put things in. But I will get a proper one, I think, because Microsoft Publisher is going to be no more. How very dare they when, I finally just got around to doing a garden plan. I'm using Publisher because I know how to use that from my old day job as a personal assistant, where I used to do all these widgety things on a computer. There you go, transferable skills. Now using it for doing my garden. But they're gonna end Publisher, and I thought, blooming heck, wasps, blooming heck, typical that, isn't it? Anyway, I digress. So I'm going to give you a quick squiz around. You'll laugh at some of the things. I've got a deliberate nettle patch. I'm growing one bed at the minute because I watched a YouTube channel of, oh great, moths. Warning, I water them before I swat them, don't I? And well, I don't actually swat them to kill them. I don't like to kill anything, whether it's spiders or anything. But it's just all really interesting. Well, I think so. If you're not interested, just go to another channel. Get away. Yeah, but I'm just wet. I've pulled up some garlic. It wasn't huge, but it was very tasty. And I even tried to braid it so it, looks a bit authentic. And I'm just waiting for a stack of red onions to come out, so they'll make room for something else. So I'll just give you a quick squiz around. I even put my sun hat on the other day. It's not bad, is it? I don't usually wear hats, but I'm not sure if it suits me or not, really. I feel like I'm a bit more sort of want to do line dancing and, a bit of that when I put this on, but anyway, I'll give you a quick squeeze round and let's see if we can see any bees, butterflies and insects, so stand by. Hydrangea's looking very nice this year. Down here just some bits of salad and this Bellier apple, and that variety is called something around, what's it called? Spartan. Just picked these because I wanted a bit of different colour. So here we go, bed number 1 that I actually managed to get an insect net on in time this year, and in there lurking are some very healthy looking broccoli and what is that? Is that spinach? Could be spinach. All sorts of lovely green things. I need to slacken that off soon because it's getting quite full. Oh, look at you. There's a little patch there that I can plant up, I realise. That's just got a chilli in it that I had to split and had to stick somewhere. Again, land cress with some of that honourable vine growing up it, but apparently if I pick the vine, it does get these beautiful gorgeous flowers, but they throttle everything, don't they? If you pick the vines, which I have done there, dumped them all together, if you pop them in some water, stir them up, all the nutrients that they take out of the soil, you can then pour back in without having the added burden of vine infestation. Next, bed number 2, beetroots. And some very scabby looking peas. Look, my peas always look scrappy. Don't know why. You obviously don't like them where I'm putting them, but has been producing some pods. A bit of overuse of canes there, I think. That's my private nettle patch. I know there are some growing at the bottom of the garden, but I thought it was handy to have some near the house. So I saw a YouTuber in Scotland, could be nurtured by nature, I'll check that out, and a fabulous lady on there, very clued up on all things natural, and she was sharing all about how good nettles are for you. Showed us how to make nettle crisps, so I've tried that and they are very nice. And I made a banana smoothie with oat milk the other morning. Couldn't find any spinach anywhere, or some, a nice green. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna put some nettle in. So I had banana, nettle, and something else in my smoothie, and it was fine. Here's my French beans, French climbing beans. They've really shot up. They seem to like it there. What to say about them? Not a lot really, except I didn't have enough canes, so I've used string, and again, this was something I got off, I think it was nettles and petals, that you can tie string around the root ball and then just use that as something to grow them up when you haven't got enough canes and things. So they're the French beans, stuck in a little patch next to them. Lettuce, carrots, a bit of a sorry looking beet there, never mind, be alright. And bits and bobs. Here's my perennial kale wearing his little hat. It's really getting battered by pests this year, but this little hat came when my purple beans were delivered. They were wearing that over the top of the plug tray, and I thought, that'll come in handy. Okay, so next, a tour of the world's tattiest nasturtium patches. But this just shows the benefits, doesn't it, of having companion planting, because just look how hammered they are getting with, this little aphid, these funny little... that is ladybird dinner, because it was either yesterday, I can't see so many today. This was actually covered with ladybirds. There were loads and loads and loads of ladybirds on it, and there were up to all sorts. There were ladybird babies, there were ladybirds bonking, and all sorts of ladybird activity going on. So I do eat nasturtiums and the flowers as well, but I've got plenty of others to go out. So moving on, next bed, there's a oh god, it's gonna get, what's that? It's a sorrel, mountain sorrel. Got it, there you go. A tomato here that needs hanging up. Oh, well, they're staking up. But look how stout that stem is, which is pretty good. It's my stoutest stem. And when I planted these, I did that thing that I learnt on another YouTube program, where you don't just plonk the root ball straight in and let it grow up. I'll show you another time. I think it might be useful if I just put a little compilation together of all the things I've done. There have been ideas of other YouTubers. So some very nice looking beetroot. Something having a little crunch there, but I'm not too worried. Because the actual looks alright in there. Again, what are these? Broccoli I think. Could be Brussels. No, broccoli. I was very late with my Brussels because my seeds didn't grow. So I had to wait till I could get some at a garden nursery. Again, some of my scubby looking peas, but you know, the basil liked it outside. I was surprised at that. And here is a beautiful mammoth dill, which my friend Wendy gave me, because it was getting a bit rampant in her garden, some of my peas. Look at that beautiful dill. I've not had dill before. I didn't realise how mammoth it got. So that's beds 1, 2 and 3. And I'll just whiz you over to number 4. Okay, so another first for this year, hanging up here on the inside of my potting shed, is my first ever string of onions, garlic. I even tried to plant them all up. They're not particularly huge, but they're alright, aren't they? They're usable. So yeah, I pulled them all out, just hung them up, dried them, did a YouTube on how to store them, and some bright spots showed how you braid them. It's not a very good attempt, but yeah, I'm having a crack at it. They're all edible, I think, and usable, so yeah, a win. First year doing garlic. Right, I just thought I'd pause the camera here, as I've decided to stick a tomato in here because I've got loads and loads of tomatoes, but I thought I'd show you what I've been doing this year with the tomato planting. And again, picked this up off somebody on YouTube, I can't remember who, I will credit it, but you get your tomato plant like so, and instead of sticking it in like that, you put it in at a jaunty angle like that, and then bend the stem, tackle the lower leaves off because it's going to make extra roots there, and it's not very good camera angle, sorry. So it's, instead of being upright straight up, I'm going to grow it, plant it sideways, and apparently it gets more roots along that stem. And I must admit, I've done that with most of my tomatoes this year, and once they actually do take off and get going, I have got a much more stout, firmer tomato plant indeed. So I've stuck that in, and then I thought I'd show you this again. This was a different way of growing beetroot seeds, beetroots, and I picked this on a YouTube channel. So this is a slither off the top of an old compost sack, and you literally just sort of make a strip of compost sack, just put a little layer of compost in it like that, and then you chuck your seeds in, and then roll it all back up and tie it. So what happens is, I don't know if you can see, the roots get a chance to grow, and they get quite long. So I could split that. That's quite a success, but it was quite fiddly to do. And then what I did when I got all my little compost bag rolls with seeds in, I just stuck them in a supermarket container and just made sure that it, you know, it never dried out. So that kind of worked. So in my little gap in the middle, I'm just going to stick in a couple of beets because I've got some growing elsewhere in the garden, and I'm following that policy of you know, spread everything out a bit, because if some blighty thing demolishes this part of the bed, at least there's a chance that somewhere else in the garden it will be thriving. So once I've stuck them in the middle, I'll probably leave this, and I'm just going to rig up some twigs to try and deter the cats a bit. So even if I only get that done today, I'll be happy with that. But I keep looking at my onions, which are over there, and they're all flopping, so maybe they're ready for pulling up. And here we are down at the bottom of the garden, near the rhubarb patch and near the big old apple tree. We have got a josterberry that's just gone in this year, so I'm not expecting it to fruit, obviously. There's been no blossom on it, but it really seems to like it there. And here is the apple. Yeah, that looks like it's gonna have a really good crop on it. We're especially brutal with the pruning this year, and of course it's been quite windy and stormy as well, so I think a lot of the little apples fell out, but it's left a bit more room. Oh, hello. Mr. Ladybird. Whew. I think that's quite enough for one day. The sun's come out now, so all loads to do still. There's a comfrey at the back lurking. Oh, look at that pretty butterfly. Ooh. I'll get it in a minute. Hello. What's going on my nettles? My precious nettles. No, it'll leave lots of... Oh, look. The blighters, aren't they, to try and